following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
Welcome to the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense on the Spartan Media Network.
Throws the home run ball deep. Nick Marsh at the 10-yard line of Maryland. Angles to the right pylon. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. Childs takes a shotgun snap. He'll keep it. He has daylight on his feet into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. Here we go. Back it comes a little bit of a high snap. Pulled down by Exley, though. The kick is up. And it's good! Yeah! Spartans win!
The Jonathan Smith Show is also brought to you by MSU FCU. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Coors Light, choose chill. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. And Michigan's premier motor coach company. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. And Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. Now let's join your host, Jehuu Caulcrick.
It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Welcome to the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. We are live at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. If you want to join us in the audience for any of the MSU Coaches Show, make your reservations by emailing onenorthdining.com. All right, Coach, welcome. And I said this to a couple players. I said this to some of your staffers. Being 1-0 is a lot better than being 0-1, right?
Yeah, there's no question. Yeah, because you're right on. I mean, those first games, you never know exactly what to expect, what it's going to look like. You hope, right? You anticipate with all the work they put in and things, but then you got to go play the game. And I'm, just proud of the guys of plugging away and really the first half coming out with a fast start and liking that. And then second half, kind of different story for the offense and all that. But, to find a way to win and there's a lot of quality football that was played and glad to be 1-0.
Yeah, the atmosphere was absolutely electric in Spartan Stadium. Talk a little bit about, how the team fed off that and how, you felt about the atmosphere.
I thought it was really good. It was. I mean, the energy, starting with the Spartan Walk, the thing was packed, and I know our guys were jazzed on that. Got into it pregame, student section packed from the get-go, well before kickoff. That stuff matters, and then the crowd's helping us. And I thought, some of the game, fan experience, the fireworks going and the pregame, and it was loud and all of that. And I know guys enjoyed that. We appreciate that. And, because, we want to continue to build this great home field advantage at this place. And want to continue it, obviously, this weekend.
Yeah, you always talk about the atmosphere, the experience is good, but the product on the field has to be there as well.
Yep.
And so we came out offensively, had a quick start. And before we jump into the offense, I know Western's defensive coordinator, that was his first game calling a defense. So as a staff, how do you guys, you can't pinpoint back to a school, his tendencies and everything. Right. So how do you prep for that?
Well, we definitely wanted to use the first couple of series to gain some information. So, the formations we got into, how they were going to be playing, line up, whether all the way from the defensive front to what coverages we were seeing. So those first few drives, really the first half was a lot of our base stuff that we'd done in training camp and tried to show some different looks to gain information from it. Obviously, the execution went really well in the first couple series because it's unsettling. Let's face it, when you go and you don't really have a good idea what they're going to show on defense for an offensive coach and staff. And so those guys did a nice job in the first half of really putting together stuff that we had repped a lot of. And then we obviously want to continue in the second half.
Yeah, staying on the offensive side of the ball, the first, we scored touchdowns on the first three of the, of the four drives there. And, having that quick start there and something that was really impressive that I saw, that surge that offensive line had.
I thought the O-line did a good job coming off the ball early on. And really, those first two drives are 70-plus yard drives. This isn't short fields and things of that nature. And so execution, the run game did get going, and that helps out everything in regards to the down and distance you're playing with, setting up some play-action pass, and making it physical. And we want to be known for that. And so I thought it was a step in the right direction from the O-line Tight ends a part of that. Backs getting downhill. Even our receivers were part of that. I mean, we're getting some tight splits from our receivers, so they're coming in and having to block safeties. And I mean, Nick Marsh, Krishan McCray, they were doing their part in the run game early on.
Yeah, and then jumping over to the defensive side, on the scoreboard it said 23-6, but that defense, has some pride. They didn't let up a score.
Yeah, stopping the run, number one thing. We wanted to be able to stop the run. We did that. We were in the backfield. Tackle for loss numbers were great. Sacked them, I think, 4 times. I did think, the defense played in. They still had some adversity. I mean, first play of the game, they throw a deep shot. They got a gain of 30 plus. There was no panic on that side. Came up with a 4th down stop to settle in. And then, I thought they just played with great effort. We tackled well. Going back to this kind of the game one conversation, you tackle some in training camp, but not for the amount that you're doing in a real game. And I thought we tackled really well. Didn't leave it just to one guy to bring the guy down, right? We've got a bunch of guys running the football and played really, really solid defense throughout the night.
Yeah, definitely. You could see that swarm type defense, 11 hats on the football. That's something I know that's coached all through.
Yeah.
And, great job showing that. Really aggressive on the defensive side there. 12 tackles for loss, 4 sacks that you talked about. But you rotated a ton of players defensively.
Yep. And that was a plan going in. We were going to do that, especially the defensive front. You saw a bunch of guys rotating in there from the get-go. At the start, we wanted to do some rotation, even at inside linebacker. We got a couple of really good players. Jordan Hall had a great game, really good player, but we did spell him. Brady Pretzloff, he was in there second or third series. We wanted to play multiple guys. And then as the game went on, it wasn't just like, mass substitutes. Some of these guys had been in the game already, but they got quality reps toward the end of the game. I mean, even at corner. I mean, we had the 2 start, Malcolm and Josh, and did a nice job, but we got Chance right in there. Aiden West got in there at corner, and both of those guys had nice pass breakups and played some coverage. I think we were over 30 some odd guys defensively only. Not talking special teams or offense. 30 some odd guys play, which is huge because this is going to be a long season,
right? And
wear and tear on the body, and all those reps will count for building experience and adding to the depth of what we want to have.
Yeah, and real quick before we jump to a break here, let's talk special teams.
Yeah,
Ryan Eckley, 4 punts inside the 20, and also a guy that was playing with his hair on fire, Caleb Gash.
Gash was great. He set the tone from the get-go. Opening kickoff, runs down there. We tackle him inside the 20, makes a big hit, and that gets the crowd and our sideline going. That was big. And Eckley did a great job on kickoff. They returned the first 2. The hang time on it, allowing our guys to get down there, it was great. And then 4 punts inside the 20. 2 of them down to about the 1 or 2 yard line. That is game changing stuff. And he's not doing that on his own. True freshman long snapper, first game for him. Yeah, Jack did a great job snapping the ball there and on the short snaps, a field goal and extra point. And then you got to have some coverage, right? We got to have some guys getting down there. Eckley places it, but we still got to have guys down there to down it, and that got executed at a high level.
Perfect. We have lots of football to talk about throughout. Let's pay some bills real quick. This is the Jonathan Smith Show presented by Auto Owner Insurance on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
For you.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
And welcome back to the Coach Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. All right, Spartan fans, if you can't make the game, all right, be sure to come here to One North. Starting this season, One North Kitchen and Bar is your game day location for away game watch parties. Join Spartan football and listen live on game day to the MSU radio. The hosts will be here breaking down the game. Come down to One North. Drink so cold, you're going to need a glove. All right, Coach. Let's talk about, we had to, you have to choose, there's a bunch of places. Offensive player of the game, Mekhi Frazier. We have a little clip here. We're going to throw it and play that clip on Mekhi Frazier right now.
Tonight's Michigan State Player of the Week is number 5, Mekhi Frazier. The sophomore running back from McKinney, Texas, hit the ground running in the green and white with a 100-yard game and a Spartan score.
Hayden Childs is under center. Mekhi Frazier is the running back. Hand off to Frazier. Running off left guard. Fights his way to the goal line. Falls into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. Mekhi Frazier, with plenty of fight, scores for the Spartans.
The Lone Star Spartan rusher carried the rock 14 times for 103 yards, including that touchdown you heard just a moment ago. And with that performance, Frazier is the 5th straight running back to run for 100 yards in a Spartan opener, joining K'Ron Lynch-Adams, Nate Carter, Jalen Berger, and of course, Kenneth Walker III. Folks, let's hear it for your Michigan State Player of the Week, Mekhi Frazier.
All right, Coach Frazier obviously having a big game there. We talked about, all through training camp, the big question was, this running back room here. It's unproven, but you said it was a talented running back room. The Texas duel with Frazier and Tullis. Was this expected?
Well, we were hopeful for it. I mean, these guys got a lot of carries. We did expect them once they kind of got comfortable and got into a rhythm that, they could make some plays. And it showed in the first half that, I think Mekhi came out and ran it really well. It's not just about how hard he runs, but you got to have some patience and some vision. Sometimes there's a timing aspect, too, of setting up a block or two. And before you put your foot in the ground and get vertical, and he showed some of that in the first half. I mean, good carries, well blocked, and finishing. Even that touchdown run, he makes a couple guys miss. We're definitely coaching him right there at the goal line about extending the ball, and he gets it, the ball comes out. But he's been a great kid. He works really hard, and I think he will improve if he, takes a similar approach that he's been doing since training camp and then this first game. I do think Brandon's a nice 1-2 punch with it. Brandon's a little bit bigger, can be physical, got to continue to run behind his pads. Huge touchdown run on that first drive. I think he's from about 12 out. That was well blocked, but he did finish the run with some defenders hanging on toward the goal line. So having a 1-2 punch like that, it's big, and that's what we like to do offensively, of not just having one bell cow the whole time.
Yeah, and offensively, one running backs, one of his biggest friends is that offensive line. And let's talk about Matt Golban, center. Played every snap on offense.
He did, and we did because we rotated at other spots at the old line, but making the calls for the first game kind of with us, this scheme, again, the first kind of chance to see him in game action, he played really well. He made the thing physical. He got us on the same page a lot of the time, adjusted a couple of times because, again, going into this game, didn't know what it was going to look like defensively. He got us in the right kind of calls, directions, where we're headed, all of that. Played physical and was accurate with the snaps. That's a big part. We're in the gun half the time, and that wasn't an issue the whole night. Matt had a really good game.
Yeah, and let's jump to our quarterback, Aiden Childs. The big thing coming in is going to be the maturation of Aiden Childs, the growth of him. I saw the growth of him from simple things from checking in and out of place, putting the offense in the best position to be successful, making better decisions with throwing the football away and living to play another down. Let's talk a little bit about the play of Aiden Childs.
Liked his efficiency early on, taking what they were giving them. Some of that run pass option we had a little bit, getting us in the right play, and then he did a nice job of that. Obviously, extended with his feet. A couple of huge, whether it's pulls or scrambles, got out of a couple of bad protection. We didn't protect him great, got out of that. So instead of being 2nd and 15, it turned into being 2nd and 7. Those were quality plays. Didn't put the ball at jeopardy. And there wasn't really one that was like, oh, we'd love to have that one back. Not that it was perfect. Might have missed a couple, no question, but didn't really put it at jeopardy. And, we got the 2 turnovers late, and some of that is protection and where we got to continue to clean up. But overall, felt solid, liked his start, efficiency, all of that. Second half, we got to be better really on 3rd down in second half. And then a lot of that, the quarterback is big to get us in better 3rd downs and then converting on those.
Right, absolutely. And then you go on the outside. Everyone talks about coming into the season, Nick Marsh.
Oh, yeah.
You and your staff went out, brought some help, on the receiver side to help Marsh there. And, Omari Kelly had a big day.
Yeah. Big start. You look at it. We got the ball a lot in the first half. Made a couple guys miss. He had the 4th down conversion. We went for it, close to midfield there, and he came up with the catch. That's a nice 1-2 punch. Nick in the red zone. I mean, he's a threat all over the field. To come into the red zone, 1st down and goal, we'd make the crossing route, makes a play one-on-one. And so we're going to have a game or two like this where, one guy's maybe a hot hand or the ball goes his way a little bit more. We definitely want to see a few more touches for Nick as, games get played out. But I go back, this guy's the ultimate team player. He had whatever it was, 5 catches. I think he actually caught 3 balls in a row in the second half to kind of get those stats going. But he was blocking as a teammate the whole night and set up some huge longer runs than they would have been if he wasn't blocking.
Yeah, I think with that talented wide receiver room, I think each game is going to be a different guy, that's going to be standing out.
Yeah, because McCray kind of flashed too. He had the larger crease in the second half. He can do some stuff. Evan Boyd coming along. We've got some other options in that room. The style of play, we want to have some balance and all of that, but there is one football. I mean, even Velling, early 3rd down conversion he gets. He didn't see a ball again the rest of the night. That's another guy that we'd love to see some touches for. And so, like I said, these guys are all about winning, whatever it takes to win. We just got some options, we feel like, in the passing game to spread the ball around a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And real quick here, I saw a lot of fullback action.
Oh, yeah.
I was excited about it.
Yeah, Jay did a good job,
Jay
too.
did an excellent job.
And I like it. One, it's a physical brand of football, which we want to play, right? Some downhill runs, getting on the edge. Jay did a good job with that. Play action pass off of that. Mike had a nice couple of catches in the flat. That's all off of downhill run action with the fullback in the game. And so, and I think in this day and age, having some variety, diversity in offense, well, it's full circle now. That's almost like uncommon now to see the fullback in the game. And we want to be a little bit, make it harder on the defense, something they don't see week in and week out.
Excellent. All right, Spartan fans, when you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local teams across the Midwest, from big league stadiums to neighborhood ball fields. Learn more at Meijer.com/community. We are live with Coach Smith of the Michigan State Spartans at 1 North. You're listening to the Jonathan Smith Coaches Show. We'll be back.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Business, Billy.
At the Capital Region International Airport, we connect our community to the world with nonstop flights to Washington, D.C. and Chicago on American Airlines, Detroit on Delta Airlines, and Orlando, Fort Myers, and Tampa on Breeze Airways. When you fly Lansing, you're just one stop away from over 500 global destinations. And with direct flights to Cancun, Punta Cana, and Los Cabos from January through April, your escape to beautiful tropical beaches is easier than ever. The Capital Region International Airport, your gateway to the world. Visit flylansing.com for more information and to book your flight today.
Hey, Spartan fans! It's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and Walk-On Heroes.
SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to MSU football games or to any other live event in East Lansing, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of MSU football. Let's go Spartans! SeatGeek.
Spartan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
We're back live on the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. All right, Spartan fans, it's time now for our Alumni Hall Trivia. Today's winner will receive tickets to the next home game and a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall. Thanks for participating in Alumni Hall Trivia. All right, the question. We're gotta get a little tricky here because you guys are smart fans. As in the WWE, they'll call you all marks right now, but you guys are smart fans. So this is a trivia question. This week is just the third visit ever for Boston College to Spartan Stadium. The last trip was September 30th, 1995, when MSU beat BC 25-21. In that Spartan win, Todd Schultz filled in for an injured Tony Banks and threw one touchdown in the game. Which Spartan receiver had that touchdown? All right, think on it a little bit, and then we'll get back to the answer on that. Spartan fans, carry the only colors in your wallet with the MSU FCU Visa credit card featuring the iconic Spartan helmet. Earn cash back on every purchase and show your pride with every swipe. Visit msufcu.org today. MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Spartan Athletics. All right, Coach, we're back. We talked offense. Let's talk a little defense, special teams here. You alluded to it earlier. Over 30 guys, getting in the rotation there on the defensive side, playing really aggressive. The defense, pitched a shutout, throughout that game, allowing just 217 yards of total offense, and the biggest thing, only 29 yards rushing.
Yeah, that's playing team defense. Controlling the line of scrimmage. It starts up front. I did think our D-line coming off the ball, getting into the backfield, not always making the tackle in the backfield, but making it kind of clean for our linebackers to run through. We did pressure a decent amount just with our linebackers coming because they're good blitzers that way. But you hold somebody to 30 or less than 30 yards rushing, you're going to feel pretty good. I actually, we hit the quarterback. We sacked him, 4 times. But I was really impressed with how first games defensively, how much we hit him, and we hit him a bunch.
Right.
But we hit him legally. You didn't see one time where it's like, hey, roughing the passer, give him a free first down type thing. Great job of just playing with poise and making it physical. So because again, it's not always about sacking the guy; it's making him uncomfortable back there, and he was, most of the night.
Yeah, definitely was, and we talked about that putting hits on the quarterback, and that's also led by that defensive line there, led by Alex VanSumeren, who will be the player guest on the show today. He ended the day with 5 tackles throughout that game. Question on if he got credit for the sack or not. We'll talk to him about that later. But in the linebacker side, we know Jordan Hall, 8 tackles total, and a sack. But let's talk about the play that Wayne Matthews had.
Yeah, it was big into the first half. Again, they're giving around the quarterback, makes an errant throw. Wayne's got to, it's a big play. Gave us an opportunity to get points. There's only about 10 seconds left. But both Wayne and Jordan, just running things inside. Jordan, the communication, let alone his play, blitzing and tackling. Wayne the same way. Wayne's really good in coverage, to be honest with you. He's physical in the box and all that, but he knows his keys. He's athletic enough to kind of transition in pass coverage, whether he's covering somebody or in his pass routes. That was a big play. Both those guys played at a really high level.
Yeah, and then taking further back to the secondary, played a lot of guys, and you talked about it earlier. That one, I think, was the first or second play, that deep ball down the field. The corner was in great position.
It was a good pitch and catch by
Yeah.
those guys, no question. Because it was the first play of the game. Josh Eaton, he's running stride for stride. It was just well placed on the outside shoulder, big completion. They regrouped. I thought Malcolm competed throughout the night. They got a kind of a throw behind deep ball on him later in the game, but he was right there in coverage, and Chance and Aiden, both of them contested, and that helps when you want to affect the quarterback, when you got to hold a little bit longer, tight coverage, which we played a decent amount of man coverage, especially on the outside. Those guys did a nice job of just competing out there.
Yeah, and the great play late in the game, I think people throw this play away, but the play that Chance Rucker made, that PBU he made downfield late in the game, I think that was a key play, and a play for a player like him, to gain confidence and guys around there. Talk a little bit about that.
That's important stuff, especially on the confidence side, to be running and make a play, because that ball goes up in the air. It's not 50. They call it 50-50. Well, sometimes the opponent is going to come down with it. The ball, the throw is just that good. You can have great coverage and it's still completion. So for him to have that play and just playing with real confidence out there, because Chance does. He's got some real talent. I was pleased with the tackling out of that group, because they're known to cover, and that's really why they're out there. But they got to be able to get guys on the ground, and they did a good job of doing that too.
And in the hidden yards there, the special teams, one of the defensive favorite player is a punter. A guy that can flip the field like Ryan Eckley did. He had 6 punts for, averaging 51 yards per punt. But also talk about, there was a true freshman long snapper, Jack Wills. How is that? 75,000 people, you have to long snap that.
I almost didn't want to jinx it, because he really had a great training camp. And, they always talk about the only time you really notice in the snapper is when the thing's going over his head or it's left or right and all this. He's had a great camp. And so I did not want to jinx him leading into the week. I still just didn't kind of talk to him a ton, didn't talk to him during the game. And he was lights out. He really was. And that stuff matters now, where that thing's, how quickly it gets back to him, so Eckley can get the ball off on time. You saw Eckley had great poise on one of the pin punts down to the one. He held the thing. We call it kind of artificial hang time. Well, if we got protection, snap's good, and he can hold it a little bit, allow the coverage to get down there. He had a great rep of that, because percentages, and we look at this analytics and things, offenses, if they're starting further closer to their own goal line, the percentages of scoring go way down. Well, 4 punts inside the 20, the opening kickoff, get tackled inside the 20. I mean, that's great starting field position to play great defense.
Yeah, that artificial hang time, and I noticed he tilted the ball, the nose of the ball there to get kind of like a golf shot.
Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs and all the punting, but I know, he's got a couple different trajectories and kicks to one, trying to spin it back. And Eckley could tell you all about it. He's a big-time golfer, right? So he thinks he can place balls in the pin and spin it back and all that. But he did it the other night.
Awesome. And also 3 for 3 for Blake Sislow on the
fun.
PATs.
Yeah, that was fun. He's got excited, especially after the first one, and I was glad he got in there quite a bit.
And I think we have a possible winner for the trivia question. State your name, where you're from, and
Todd Smith from Delta Township. I can only recall one receiver from the Tony Banks era, so I'm going to guess Nigel Carter.
No. It is not Nigel Carter. Good guess, though. I think Harriet's coming up.
That was going to be my second guess. Is it Masim Muhammad?
Correct. Harriet Dean. All right, Spartan fans, we will be back with more of the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Hey, Spartan fans! It's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and Walk-On Heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to MSU football games or to any other live event in East Lansing, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of MSU football. Let's go Spartans! SeatGeek.
Spartan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Thanks for joining us for the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. We're live from One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing for all Spartan Coaches Show. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. We love a good time. We love a great time. This guy, the player guest today, he looked like he was having fun on Friday night. Alex VanSumeren, welcome to the show.
Appreciate you having me.
Alex, let's just jump into it. First and foremost, congratulations on the win. It's awesome. Talk about the defensive performance on Friday night.
Yeah, it was a good performance. Basically, just stopping the run. That's the first and foremost thing. To rush the passer, you got to stop the run to earn the right to do that. So, dominating the line of scrimmage on both sides, O-line and D-line for us. It's a huge emphasis, from Coach Smith, and we got that done, and we got to do it again, this Saturday. Another opportunity.
Absolutely. And I don't know, this could be a trivia question down the road. Both of you, Coach Smith, your first opener, last year, and then the season opener this year, able to get safeties, in that, talk about that a little bit, Alex.
Yeah. Anytime you can get a safety, it's a huge play. So that was definitely very exciting. Yeah. And you could see everyone on the defense was getting really lit, really hype after that. That was awesome. Yeah.
So, Al, one thing I got to say, this guy here, I learned this on Friday. Believe it or not, he said he played running back in high school.
Running back, man. I was toting the rock at 300 pounds in high school. Yeah. if you need me coming up, I can do it.
Yeah, look into that, man.
Oh, man. So to talk about it, in today's day and age, your brother, was Spartan. He is a Spartan, went here, played here, and you had opportunities. You could have gone somewhere else, but you chose to stay here at Michigan State. What does playing, at Michigan State and wearing that green and white mean to you?
Oh, it means everything. I mean, you can accomplish absolutely everything here that you want to, as far as winning a national championship, going to the league, All-American. And for me, it's not. I live 90 minutes from here. Was born and raised in Michigan. I'm from Bay City, so it means a ton to me.
Absolutely, and I always say that too. I say that to everybody too. I'm a kid that's from New York, and I'm back here, in East Lansing area, in the Metro Detroit area, because of the opportunities that I had here, at Michigan State. So that I love that fact there that you understand it there. So let's get more into this team, this unity here. That what is it like, without getting yourself in too much trouble, playing for Coach Smith?
Oh yeah,
it's great, man. No, it really is. Just the buy-in all across the board. From the first day he was here and we had the first team meeting to now, it's been the same. The goals have been the same, and just the big picture and how it needs to get done. Everyone realizes it. He has a saying, the star of the team is the team. It's a simple saying, but it rings true. The moment you step outside and start thinking about yourself is the moment things start going negative. And that's kind of been just the mindset since he's got here and throughout up until now.
You know, I think some of that, I think we speak to the defensive line, and we mentioned it already, like the 30 some odd guys we played on defense, but in particular D line, we play a lot of those guys. How culture, vibe, defensive line, rotating through, you're not playing every snap because you got buddies out there. Speak to the D line a little bit.
You have to. You have to have great D lines, and Coach Lingy told us this. The best defensive lines, wherever you've looked at them in the past, every single year, they're rotating. You got to stay fresh. It's a position at defensive tackle where, and defensive end, where it's a physical position. And you need multiple guys to play it, and we have the luxury to have that. Same at linebacker and in the DBs. Our defense is very deep at every position, and Coach Rossi, one of the things he says is strength in numbers. So you got to have strength in numbers, and we have that. And guys, whenever the opportunity is presented, have to take advantage of it. You know,
absolutely. You know, your brother Ben, he was in the building on Friday. How cool was that to have your brother there on the sideline watching you go out and dominate?
It was great. It was kind of like a spur of the moment thing. It wasn't really planned that he was going to come. They play tomorrow night, so he had a couple days off. So he was just like, I might as well come down. So to have him on the sidelines, it was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Now at Thanksgiving, you know, because he has that Super Bowl ring.
Right.
You know, does he get served first?
Of course, man. I'll let him go first. He's got a ring. I don't know if anyone else in Bay City's got a ring. So, yeah.
That is awesome. Frankly, Spartan fans, you'll want to join us for Michigan State Sports Brief every weekday on our Spartan Sports Network affiliates presented by Frankenmuth Insurance. Find a local independent agent near you by visiting www.fmins.com. You are listening to the Jonathan Smith Coaches Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance. We'll be back with more after the break on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Billy.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
Farm Bureau Insurance invites you inside the green for an exclusive dinner with basketball coach Tom Izzo. This unique experience includes a private dinner for one winner and 3 guests with Coach Izzo. The winner also receives a private tour of the Breslin Center, an autographed basketball from Coach, tickets to a future home game, and more. For more details and to register, visit InsideTheGreenSweeps.com. Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics.
Good helps keep people safe. Good keeps watch. Good cares for people, feeds people, and keeps things running. We're MDOC, and Good works here. Come join us. We offer great pay and benefits, paid training, and we have immediate openings for corrections officers, healthcare and mental health professionals, food service staff, and more. Go to michigan.gov/MDOC jobs to learn more.
And welcome back. Auto Owner Insurance presents the Jonathan Smith Coaches Show. Hey, Spartan fans, Abbott and Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood drive. Show up to donate blood to help your school win $1 million for the student or community health. Score a limited edition Michigan State tee and save lives. Go to big10.org/Abbott to get in the game. All right, Coach, week 2. It's going to go fast this season, but we're at week 2. Boston College head coach Bill O'Brien, they come to town this week. What have you seen, on film from their game? They had an impressive game on Saturday. What have you seen?
Yep, they had a nice win, scored a bunch of points. A really well-coached team. Coach O'Brien knows what he's doing. They got some similarities to us in regards to just consistency, continuity, coaching staff, same coordinators. So similar scheme. Every year you can have a little tweak in there, but does a nice job there. Physical group on both sides, which we're going to need to be able to match and add to that the physicality of the game. And so looking forward to, again, being back at home, our fans, our place, helping us out with that energy, making it hard on, quarterbacks, whoever ends up playing, but the quarterback they got is, coming in his first year, and we want to make it hard on every quarterback who comes in.
Yeah, that quarterback that they had last week, 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions. You got to be a guy that throws the ball a lot, Alex, from a defensive side. You got to be licking your chops because you might have an opportunity to get some hits on him. How's the vibes been this week in practice?
It's been great. It's been a great week of practice, very physical. And we're that the game's going to be physical up front. We know that with the toughness. They're a tough offensive line, a tough team, and we're ready for it. It's going to be a challenge, but nothing we're not ready for.
And Coach, let's take a deeper dive into the explosiveness of this Boston College offense.
Yeah, they got a couple of wideouts that can play, and one of them hurt us last year. But they got a couple on the edge. 11 made a bunch of plays in the week 1. They got a tight end that's pretty athletic as well and can catch it. And so they do a nice job of making it hard schematically on you. Still want to have a physical brand of football running the thing, but they got players on the outside with the quarterback who, after one game, he is accurate. You give him time, those guys can get open and he can put it in the right spot so they can be potent. Obviously, with scoring a bunch of points like they did week 1.
Yeah, and they scored a bunch of points, and they also led the nation in total yards on offense, 555 yards. So you talk about an explosive offense that this defense is going to have to be ready, especially in the secondary there. And that's the beauty about playing a lot of guys last week. So when these guys go in, it's not deer in the headlights.
Yeah, no question. You're going in your game 2. Guys have played, but this will be a big jump challenge-wise, just with the skill sets, the schematics of it. A quarterback is this accurate. And they got a nice run game and the different schemes in the run game that Alex already mentioned. It's going to be a physical, tough line of scrimmage, and then in the back end, we will be able to tackle.
Yeah, and so jump from our offensive side, their defense, especially defense, they like to do a lot of stunts, TEs, different things like that. How important is that communication on the offensive line?
Yeah, it'll be important because they show you a lot of different looks, and that's the starting point in offensive football. You got to be on the same page of identification, where we're headed, how the 5 guys are working together, the identification even on our route running, what coverage are we getting, man, zone, 2 high, 1 high, all of that. We got to be on the same page because they show you so many different looks, trying to create confusion.
Yeah. And for you, Alex, last year going there, it was a study, just annoying rain that was coming down last year. And the game didn't end how we wanted it to end. So having that from last year, and, Coach talked about it a little bit in his presser, the students rushing the field, all that stuff. Like, what is that, for a player? How do you carry that? And when you're in the locker room just talking amongst the boys, how do you bring that up?
It's definitely like extra motivation, but we don't really need any more motivation. We're not kind of concerned with, last year, every game, and it's its own game in itself. So we're just focused on the task at hand. We're not concerned about any of the outside stuff, and just focused on ourselves and our jobs and what we need to do to execute.
And for Coach, offensively, last week you talked about you rotated 7, 8, 9 offensive linemen. Is that the same plan going into this week?
Yeah, I think it will probably be similar. Again, I think it helped us. One, we stayed fresh, and again, guys got experience in that competition to land on. Okay, we're only going to play those 5. Well, we'll get to those 5 if there's a separation between that. But we did rotate a guard. We played 3 guys at offensive tackle, and it'll probably be similar this week in week 2.
And so, Alex, for you, for a player standpoint, walk us through, because each player is different. You got guys in the locker room that's like, the hee ha ha guy, the guys that are serious, hiding in their locker. From when you wake up at the Kellogg on game day, what's your mindset? Take us through from your wake up, the walk, and into the locker room. Are you listening to music? What do you listen to? All of that. Take us through.
Man, I listen to anything. I might listen to some Garth Brooks, maybe, maybe some Creed or Rod Wave, a wide variety. That's for sure. But I'm loose, I'm blessed to have this opportunity to play this game. I realize anytime you go out there, it could be your last. So I take advantage of it every time I'm given it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the type of mindset there. Because at the end of the day, we talk about, being fierce, being dominant, but at the end, we're playing a game. We keep that in mind and have fun, and good things happen. We're live with head coach Jonathan Smith of the Michigan State Spartans tonight, and at presented by Auto Owners Insurance here at One North. We'll be back with more.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
.com/community.
Hey, Michigan State Spartans, ready to one-up your rivals off the field? Abbott and the Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood Drive. By showing up to donate blood, you can help your school win $1 million for student or community health, score a limited edition home field designed Michigan State Spartans t-shirt, and most importantly, save lives. Go to bigten.org/Abbott to find a donation location and put Michigan State in the lead.
You love the thrill of the game, but not from the sidelines. As the official orthopedic and sports medicine partner of Michigan State Athletics, McLaren Orthopedics and Sports Medicine can help you get back in action. Our team of experts specialize in the prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation of sport injuries. Whether you're swinging a bat, shooting hoops, or running the trails, we make you feel like a pro at any age. Learn more at McLaren.org.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
We are back with more Spartan football on the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Even Sparty needs a timeout every now and then. So why not take yours at the beach? Myrtle Beach is home to 60 miles of warm sandy beaches, over 2,000 restaurants, and much more. Enter now for your chance to win your very own beach break getaway. Compliments of Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/MSU to enter. Your ultimate beach break is one click away. And also, Spartans, join us on September 13th as the Spartans take on the Youngstown State Penguins in our inaugural Ag Day celebrations presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Celebrate agriculture in the state of Michigan with us at the Meyer Fan Fest. All right, Coach, we're back. Let's dive a little more into Boston College. Last year, both coaches' first year there. What are some takeaways that you had from last year that you can, help prepare for this with this week's game?
Yeah, you're definitely watching that tape, like we talked about, the continuity of the coordinators, and so schematics from year one to year two. There's going to be some carryover to be able to analyze and look at. You think about the game itself. I mean, just in general, it turned the ball over too many times, lost the turnover battle. That really hurt us, and turned it over offensively and on special teams. So we got to play better in this this year's game. It was a physical game, and also how long the game is. The momentum swings, kind of went into halftime having a little momentum. We gave that right back early in the third quarter, and then there were still opportunities toward the end of it where we could have got it. We had the lead, could have got a stop, didn't get it done. Turned around, got the ball, had some time to be able to answer that, and didn't get it finished. So these college football games are long. There's going to be momentum swings in them. It comes down to fourth quarter and playing quality football, and I think it's going to take that this year. I mean, watching their first game, a lot of games from last year, similar to our game we had last year. It's a 4-quarter battle. Need all three phases. These guys are good in all three phases: special teams, defensively, and schematically on offense with some weapons. So you're gonna have to play well for 60 minutes.
Yeah, you talk about their college football game, how long it is. So how do you adjust the players, and now you have the 2-minute stoppage, and what goes into the thought process in the game management, managing your timeouts, and for example this past week.
Oh yeah, the timeout part. When you're using them with that 2-minute timeout, that did change a lot of things, and it actually extends the game. The importance of the end of the game, because there's going to be a stoppage there. It makes it even longer, especially in these one-score games, and the strategy of timeout usage a little bit before that morning, and then after it when you're using it. Some of the thought on timeouts, if you're behind, is you're trying to save 40 seconds. Well, some of their strategy too, to spending them before you've got that 2-minute timeout to have a full 2 minutes if you're getting the ball back. So we put a lot of thought into it. I actually got the chance because Saturday, we played on Friday night, watched a lot of the games on Saturday, and I can't be a typical fan watching this stuff. I'm just thinking about the clock and the timeouts and the considerations because a lot of this does come down to some strategy. So you give your team best chance possible at the end of the game.
And then, so obviously during the week, you practice these scenarios.
Yeah, we did 2-minute today. Got in this area, had a couple of timeouts, and moved it into the red zone where the clock's running. And when you want to, because these decisions are quick. Now, timeout, are you going to spike the ball? The players out there putting them in that situation, you got to get out of bounds, or first down, or go down. All this stuff that comes up, we try to recreate. So we work on that in particularly actually on Wednesdays every week.
And so with that communications now, how important is that, player to coach?
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's big because you can get it right to the quarterback. And even on defense, you can get it to a player who can echo it to everyone on the field. But it's nice to have a quick communication like that beyond just the play call. You can give them, again, awareness, play clock, things like that.
Yeah. So let's take a deeper dive back into Boston College here. Defensively, we talked about the pressure that's going to be on the secondary. Talk about the importance, and let's go take a deep dive into Jordan Hall on his communication, especially with motions and everything. How important is it to communicate that to the rest of the team?
Because the motion, even shift and then motion, because it changes a whole lot of things. I mean, casual fans just watching this, and the receiver starts on one side and he goes to the other. Well, that's not just that particular player going from one side to the other. That's changing the formation. He might start in a 2-by-2 formation, ends up in a 3-by-1. That changes really the whole group of guys of where they're fit, where they're lined up, where they're in man or we're in zone, the leverage you're going to try to play. So, and they do a lot of it. They get in some unbalanced formations, which isn't normal. Unbalanced, more or less everybody's on one side and there's no one on the other. That changes things for the defense. So Jordan's going to be big in regards to the communication of getting us in the right spots.
Awesome stuff. Talking ball here, folks. We're talking ball. We'll be back with more from Coach Smith. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There
you go. Go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest, from some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Labatt and Game Day, the perfect combo for football, friends, and a little friendly fire.
Nice jersey. Guess they were out of adult sizes.
Labatt is the beer that's there for every good-natured jab, every ridiculous comeback, because with friends, roasting each other is just another way to say,
"You're an idiot, but I love you."
Labatt, brewed for the roast. Always enjoy responsibly.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Oh, I can't believe we blew a 5-touchdown lead.
Sure, but you got to feel like they were going to win for almost the entire game.
But I was about to buy playoff tickets.
So you were prepared for a good time. That's pretty nice.
It's the worst loss any team has ever had.
And you got to witness history.
Okay, we're done here.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us and the Spartan fans here at One North for the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. All right, we talked last week. We talked the win over Western. We talked the upcoming game against Boston College. An important piece for the team is that 12th man out there. Spartan Stadium has to be rocking again this week. What do you want to see from Spartan fans on Saturday night?
Well, yeah, their continued support like they brought it on Friday night. We're going to need it again. At primetime stage, 7:30, NBC Peacock, national television, everybody's going to be scoping out. And so for them to come out and bring that energy and us doing our part of playing quality football, get the crowd into it, that makes a difference. Talk about last year's game. There was a difference playing on the road versus home. They had an awesome atmosphere, counting on us to do the same thing to be able to get us to a quick start. And then ultimately, we're going to have to play 4 quarters. It's going to be a 4-quarter game and counting on the crowd to help us, finish the thing after 60 minutes.
And some people might not realize this, but talk a little bit about this. Having a packed stadium, loud crowd, how important is that for recruiting?
Oh, yeah, there's no question that helps. Eyeballs on it, the crowd, the atmosphere. We're going to have a lot of recruits there this weekend, and so that makes a difference for their, impressions of whether they're on campus and experiencing them themselves or obviously watching it on national television.
All right, Coach, anything you want to add before we jump out of here?
Well, I appreciate it. I know there's a couple quick nuggets that, got to do a great job of taking care of the ball throughout this thing, make it physical at the line of scrimmage. Whoever runs the ball better, I think, wins the game. So we got to do a great job in regards to the run game on both sides of the ball.
Yes, and real quick, too, before we go, I want to congratulate Mr. George Blaha, who this weekend will be honored at the with Naismith in the Basketball Hall of Fame this weekend. So George won't be calling the game because he's going to be getting honored there. So, congratulations to George on that great establishment. And thank you to Chris Ottaway, auto engineer, Matt Contreras Venezuela, our producer, Gage Densby, our video stream, and Alex VanSumeren. And as always, Coach Smith, thank you for giving the time with us. And until next time, Spartan Nation, be good, do good, and go green.
You've been listening to The Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. The Jonathan Smith Show is also brought to you by MSU-FCU. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. Meijer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Coors Light, choose chill. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartans Athletics. And Michigan's premier motor coach company. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. And Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. The Jonathan Smith Show has been a presentation of Playfly Sports in partnership with Michigan State Athletics. All rights reserved. Join us next time on this network station for all the action of Michigan State Spartan football, a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.